Namaste, let's begin. Bring yourself into a seat, either in a chair or supported by a folded blanket to elevate your pelvis. Reach back and pull the flesh of the buttocks side to side so that you can feel your sits bones anchoring down into your support. Lengthen up through the spine, pressing the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Inhale your shoulders up to your ears. Hold your breath, drop your shoulders, and then exhale. Let's do that again. Inhale the shoulders up to the ears. Sitting tall, hold the breath. Drop the shoulders and then exhale. One more time. Inhaling shoulders up to the ears. Hold the breath, stay tall. Just drop the shoulders and then exhale. Good. Allow your eyes to soften and close. Become aware of your breath. Notice the rhythm of the inhale and the exhale. Notice if one nostril is more open than the other. Notice how the body moves as you breathe. Notice the body's temperature today. And feel the air moving where it touches your exposed skin on your arms, feet, face. Breathe. Now notice your body's energy level. And then notice the real energy level that exists behind the habitual tension that we carry around with us. Soften and breathe. And finally, observe any thoughts or feelings that are riding the waves of your breath. And allow what you discover to just be. There's nothing to change in this moment. Rather, use this time as an opportunity to come home to yourself. Breathe. Begin scanning the body in your mind's eye, moving from your feet and legs up the body towards the head with your awareness. If you find a body part that's tight or in need of healing today, send a little extra breath there to create some internal space. Once you arrive in your body scan to the top of the head and face, spend a little extra time relaxing the muscles of the face. Let there be space between the jaws. Allow the eyeballs to move back in their sockets. Let the muscles of the cheeks soften and relax. Let there be space in the inner ears. Allow the tongue to rest in the lower palate and the lips to be soft. Take another full body breath, settling into this moment. And then slowly bring your hands into Namaste over your heart. Let's set an intention for our practice. We come to yoga to release the tension patterns and habits that we carry with us on the mat and off the mat throughout our days. Yoga gives us the opportunity to study and observe our habits and then allow us to release what no longer serves us so that we can change and grow. May our practice today reveal something new about our bodies and selves. Let's share the sound of an Om together. Inhale to prepare. Allow the arms to float back down into the lap. Sit tall for Kapalabhati breathing. We'll take 30 rounds followed by a retention. Inhale to prepare. Begin. And 30, inhale. Exhale, lean forward, blow out the air. Inhale now, sit up tall, inflate. Full set of lungs, hold. And notice how it feels to hold with a full tank of air. Soften around the holding and observe. When the body calls for breath, you can gently release and take an easy, relaxed breath with your eyes open. Let's take one more round of Kapalabhati breath. Lengthen to prepare. Inhale. Begin. (29 and 30). Inhale. Exhale, lean forward, blow out all the air. Empty, empty, empty navel into spine. Sit up tall, hold. Hold the breath out, hold empty, and notice how it feels. Dive inside. When the body calls for breath, you can release, open the eyes, and breathe comfortably. And now we'll come onto our knees or scoot to the edge of the chair for our warm-up section. If you need padding under your knees, be sure to take a moment to fold the blanket and place it under your knees for support. Cat and cow tilts. On the inhale, lift up through the chest, taking the tailbone up, and on the exhale, rounding through the back like a Halloween cat, tucking the tail, dropping the head. If you're sitting in a chair like Chris is demonstrating, you're taking the same spinal flexion and extension, but you're doing it by linking it with arm movements. You'll notice that as she's inhaling, she's bringing her chest forward and her arms back, and that as she's exhaling, she's rounding her body as if she was hugging an enormous beach ball. Let the speed of your breath dictate the speed of your movement. Allow your head to be heavy as you practice, fully releasing on the exhaled breath. Inhale to extend, exhale to tuck, and we'll be moving this into a vinyasa. So if you are one of the kneeling students, as you exhale now, you can press your tailbone back towards your heels into child pose. And then inhale, sweep forward as if you were pressing a ball along the floor with your face. And then inhale, straighten the elbows to come up. Exhale, tucking the back and rounding. And then inhale, sweeping forward, lifting the chest, coming up. Good. Again, keep your breath steady and rhythmic. Move at your own pace, following your unique breath rhythm. Just a few more. The next time you inhale and come up to a table, you can pause and release. We'll move into a table balance. If you're sitting in a chair, come to stand next to it. And if you're kneeling, pause. Extend one leg back behind you, reaching through the toes and pressing the heel back. On the inhale, bring the opposite arm forward if you're on the floor, so your back is flat like a coffee table. If you're standing, you can look at Chris. She's extending through the same arm and leg. The chair is there to help with her balance. Breathe here. Imagine that you were holding a glass of water on your back and you didn't want to spill. You'll need to firm the core, feeling the abdominals engage on the exhale. Nice, everyone. Give me one more breath. And then on the exhale, with control, return to neutral and change sides. Either walking to the other side of the chair or extending back through the other leg. When your pelvis feels level and steady, you can extend the opposite arm and breathe. Good. That little shaking that you're feeling, that little wobbling you're feeling, is your core integrating or zipping up. Regular practice of table balance will help to protect your low back and make it nice and strong. Go ahead and give me one more full body breath, inhaling and exhaling, and then return to neutral for child pose. If you're sitting in a chair for your practice, you can come over and sit. And you'll see that my students here are switching to protect their knees. So Tracy needs a little extra support, and she's gonna sit in the chair to protect her knees. Press your hips back towards your heels and then lower your forehead to the floor. If your forehead does not touch the ground, you can copy Michelle, and you can also copy Chris. We breathe this way every day in all dimensions. And when we invert into a gentle head below heart pose like child, we can feel that dimensionality of the breath, the 3 dimensions. Go ahead and take one more nice relaxed breath here in child. If you're on the floor now, extend both arms long and begin to crawl them off to the side of the yoga mat onto the floor. If you're sitting in a chair, roll up, sit tall please, and then lifting one arm up in the air, extend over to the side so that everyone is stretching into the side of the body. Breathe into the ribs, into the intercostal muscles between the ribs, and allow your head to be soft. Reach evenly through all 10 fingers, sitting the buttocks back way behind you. Take one more breath and then switch. Coming over to the other side, extending and reaching. And then return to a table, or simply sit tall for kneeling lunge. If you're sitting in a chair, you can come to standing now. And everyone is going to bring one leg forward. So escort one of your legs forward or step forward with that leg. Take a moment to move the belly and breast flesh in if you have an ample stomach or chest. Your bent knee should be in your armpit. Breathe. Once you feel nice and stable, you can climb your leg. Torso upright. And then everybody send the opposite arm back and long. So if you're forward with your right leg, it would be the left arm that reaches back. Send your gaze forward and up to where the ceiling meets the wall in front of you. Hand is light on the supporting leg. Breathe. Taking your breath attention into the front hip flexor of the back leg, and feel that opening coming all the way from the quadriceps up the hips, into the ribs, and out through the 5 fingers, reaching your pinky finger back long behind you. Reach back 1 more inch, take another breath. Hands are coming into prayer position now, lowering them to the center of your spine over your heart for twist. Inhale, tall. Exhaling, twisting over and breathing. Pick a spot on the wall in front of you at about eye height and breathe to that spot. You'll notice how Tanya, wearing the blue shirt, has her back knee lifted. You can take that option if you'd like to generate more heat in your practice. It's the dance your body does to stay upright. Soften the muscles of the face. Very good, and slowly now on your next exhale, come back to center and lower down, or return to a standing neutral pose. Come all the way down to the floor, please. Take the leg back or step back and do the other side. Escorting the other leg in front, take your time. You want that front shin vertical, knee over ankle aligned. If you look down, you should be able to see the top of your foot. Good. Now climb your leg, bringing your torso upright, and take that opposite arm up and back, reaching through all 5 fingers. Send your gaze up now to where the ceiling meets the wall in front of you, and breathe. Notice if you're leaning more weight into one hip than the other, and attempt to square the weight so they're even between knee and foot. Notice the little dance your body does here to stay upright. Play with pressing more strongly into the palms, each palm sandwiching into each other to zip the support up the center of the abdominal wall. You'll notice that you become more stable when you press more firmly. Unglue the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Good. And then on your exhale, you can return to center and lower down. Preparing now for a squat. So if your knees cannot handle squatting pose, then I'd like you to come over to the chair. You can take that folded blanket behind your heels for propping them and supporting them. You'll notice that my 2 chair students have switched roles once again to protect their knees. If you find squatting problematic, you can copy Chris and simply sit in a wide-legged stance in a chair. Send your heart up, send your gaze up to where the ceiling meets the wall, and imagine that your hips have become very, very heavy. So if you were holding a 100-pound weight anchoring the pelvis down. And lower the fingers to the floor. Send the tailbone up to the ceiling. Let your head dangle. Shake it no. Shake it yes. And then bending the knees a lot, slowly roll up. Let your legs do all the work, stacking one vertebra on top of the next. When you get to the top of the spine, taking the hands behind the back in little fists for a back bend. Inhale. Exhale, take it back, sending the heart towards the ceiling and the collarbones back. One more deep breath, dropping the elbows low, lifting through the chest points, and then inhale tall and pause. So now we'll come into standing for standing squat. Go ahead and switch now, Chris and Tracy. So bring your feet hip width underneath your body, and you want your feet moving parallel, so as if they're moving on two railroad tracks and the edges of the feet are aligned with the side of the mat. Inhale your arms up to shoulder height in front of your body, and then retract the shoulder blades on the exhale, sending them down the back, moving the fingertips away from the wall in front of you. Inhale, lengthen up tall through the head, and then exhale, draw the sitting bones back behind you, sitting down nice and low. And if you were sitting in the chair, as Tracy's demonstrating, you would come up into a very gentle squat. You'll notice that she's only squatting about half as much as the other students. Good. Take another breath here, and then on your next inhale, stand up tall. Exhale, arms down. Good. One more. Inhale, shoulders up to shoulder height, and then take them down the back and squat. Drawing your hip creases back towards the wall behind you. You should feel the weight in your heels. Good. Tanya's going to add the Kapalabhati breath that we worked on earlier. Those short, sharp, complete exhales that are toning and pumping her abdomen. Excellent. Good. Tracy, if you want to stand and then sit and do a few of those without holding, you can do that too. Good. Deep, full body breath. Breathing into the collarbones, opening up through the heart, sending the tailbone back towards the wall behind you. Good. One more breath, and then inhale, stand up nice and tall. Exhale, relax the arms. Our next posture will be downward facing dog inversion. Come to the top of your mat, or if you're using a chair, bring the chair in front of you so that the chair seat faces you. Take your feet parallel, hip width apart, so that the edges of the feet are aligned with the edges of the yoga mat. Inhale your arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, bending strongly at the knees, forward fold, hands to the floor or chair seat in front of you. Inhale, step back one leg and then the next. Exhale, downward facing dog. Your back is long like a sliding board, pressing back through the hip creases. You'll notice on Tracy, who is using the chair for support, that she has her feet directly underneath her hips. She's taking a shorter stance for balance. This modification is appropriate if you have high blood pressure, glaucoma, any diseases of the eye, or in your second and third trimesters of pregnancy. Everybody take a nice big inhale, and then on the exhale, begin to walk your hands and feet together into a standing forward fold. Pause for a breath. Bend your knees dramatically and slowly roll up through the spine, one vertebra at a time. At the top, take a baby back bend. We're going to take one more holding of the dog. Good. Come into mountain, feet parallel, please. Hip width apart, facing the chair seat or top of the mat. And inhale the arms up overhead. Reach up, look up, exhale, bending the knees, come forward, hands to floor or flat on the chair seat. And step back, inhale, And then exhale into dog. In downward facing dog, we want to pull the front of the hip or hip creases back towards the wall behind us so that our back is making a nice long sliding board shape. Eventually, as you practice and get stronger, you'll be able to bear more of the weight in your legs instead of in the arms. Spread your fingers wide and fill this whole shape with breath. Pressing back through the tailbone, breathing, letting your neck and head relax. And then exhaling, slowly walk the feet forward. Pause and forward fold. And then bending the knees a lot. Inhale, roll up, stacking one vertebra on top of the next. Good. We'll be moving into sun salutes. If you're wearing a yoga strap and we're binding, you may want to remove that strap now for the salutes since we'll be flowing. Good. Coming to the top of your mat or facing your chair. Let's take a salute with just the arms. This version is appropriate for all levels. And bring the hands to namaste over the heart, feet in mountain. On an inhale, sweep your arms up and out to the side and up overhead. Look up, arch up. And then exhale, return your hands to namaste, stay tall. Again, inhaling. And on your exhale, float the hands down. One more in your own speed. Let's add some moves. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, come into a forward fold. Sweep the arms down, coming over, hands to the chair or floor. Inhale, look up. Exhale, step back, 1 foot lunge. Breathe. Take a moment to make sure that your front shin is vertical. In all these lunges, you want your knee at a 90-degree angle. You should be able to look down and see the top of your foot. Inhale. As you exhale, step it back into downward facing dog pose. Feet are hip width apart. Back is long like a sliding board. You're pulling the front of your hips, the hip creases, back towards the wall behind you, lengthening through the back. Let your head relax. Inhale, exhale, very nice. Inhale and exhale. Take another nice full deep body breath, press it back, good. And then inhale, that same foot that stepped back is coming forward into a lunge. Take your time, find the shin alignment and pause. Good. Michelle, you can go ahead and drop your back knee for support and find your balance. Nice. Breathe in, breathe out. On an inhale, step together into a forward fold, hang your head. Exhale here. And then inhale, arms up, reach up, look up. Exhale, close the pose in namaste. Let's do the other leg. Inhale, sweep up, look up. And then exhale, forward fold, touching the chair or floor. Bend your knees, please. Good. Inhale, step back the other leg. Good. Knee down or up. And breathe. Tanya's doing the lunge version with her knee off the floor for added heat. You can do that too if your hands easily reach the floor. Inhale, and then exhale, step it back into downward facing dog. Good, Tracy. Let's bring your feet a little bit more under your base of support. Nice. So you have a shorter stance than the other women, but you're also achieving the same length in your back. Just because a pose looks different from the outside doesn't mean we're not achieving the same energetic effect. That's the purpose of the props in our practice. Inhale and exhale. And on your next inhale, bring that same foot forward into the lunge. Take your time and breathe. Front shin is vertical. Inhale and exhale. Let's step together, inhaling. Exhale, hang, bend your knees a lot. And sweep the arms up, inhale. Reach for the sky, exhale down. Continue with another lunging salute. Tanya will take the vigorous version. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, everyone, forward fold. Bend your knees a little. Inhale, look up. And Tanya is going to step back into plank. Everyone else is going to lunge. Inhale. On the exhale, Tanya is going to lower her knees, chest, chin. Everyone else will step into dog. When Tanya inhales, she's coming forward into an upward dog, and she's spreading her collarbones wide apart. And then on the exhale, she's going to press it back again into dog. Excellent. Inhale and exhale. Everyone's going to step forward now, either both feet or lunging. Breathe. Inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale. Exhale, step together, forward fold. And inhale, everyone, sweep it up. Arms up, look up, reach up. Exhale, namaste. If you're lunging, do the other leg. If you're vigorous, do Tanya's version again. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, forward folding. Soften the knees, everyone. Inhale, look up. Exhale, plank or lunge, opposite leg. Good. My lungers, when you're ready, you can step it back into a dog and meet Tanya there. Everyone breathe. Inhaling and exhaling. Feet are hip width apart, fingers spread wide, and we're pulling back through the front of the hip creases. We're extending our tailbone toward the sky, and we're letting our neck and head relax. Good. Take one more breath. Inhale, exhale, either lunge or step it together, coming forward. Good. Breathe, take a moment, find your balance, and then join Tanya in the forward fold. Good. Hang. Inhale, soft knees. Let's come all the way up. Reach it up, look up. Exhale, namaste. Excellent. So for our next posture, we're going to take triangle pose, and you all might find it supportive to have a block near the right side of your mat, at the top of the mat, or as Tracy's demonstrating with the chair. So we're going to take a wide straddle fold. Go ahead and open up your legs, and then take your arms out to the side. And you're going to want to look down and have your feet in the distance between your elbows and wrists. So if you drew a vertical line, your feet would end up vertically somewhere between the elbows and wrists. Good. Take an inhale and fill out the shape that you are, and exhale. Beautiful. Now turn your right toes out and turn your back toes in 45 degrees. So you're going to rotate, but you still want your hip points facing forward. So go ahead and feel that rotation, and you want your front knee tracking over your front toes. Do a little knee bend, guys, and make sure that the knee is tracking over the center toes. You feel the difference? Good. All right, straighten your legs, please. Inhale, look right at your hand, and exhale, lean forward, hinging at the hip crease, and revolve your arms vertically. Top arm up, bottom arm down. You can have your hand resting on the chair for support. That's nice, Tracy. Good. So remember, when you're using the chair, that the chair has to move to fit you, right? You want the prop to serve you, not you the prop. Good, good, good. Doesn't that feel a little more stable? Yeah, good. Everybody take one more breath, and we're gonna reverse the triangle. Keep your legs the way they are, and on your inhale, come up and arch over, looking up at your outstretched right fingertips into a side bend. Good, Michelle. So you're going to look at your right hand, and you're going to arch up and back. Beautiful. Breathing into the stretch in your right side body. Please straighten your legs. Nice. Good. In a moment, we're going to come into extended angle. Inhale and exhale. Lower the arm and bend the front knee to a 90-degree angle. Coming through warrior two, putting the hand on either your thigh or the chair seat, and take the arm up and over, and you can extend long through the fingertips. Nice. Good. Make sure that your knee is tracking over the center toes. Beautiful. Just like that. Yes. Take another breath. Good. Look down and find your block. take it into your right hand and place it down on the floor. Scooch your back foot in 6 inches, everybody. Lower your top arm to your side. Rest it there. Hand down, good. And now with the knee tracking over the toes, you're going to start to elevate the back leg up. Keep your hip point rotating toward the sky. Yes, and breathe. It's okay to fall over. It's okay to come up and down repeatedly. Good. Breathe. So you're holding the pose, but you're not holding your breath. Nice. Extra karma points for falling over. Nice, everyone. Let's come down and slowly extend the legs. Turn your feet back where they were, facing parallel. Take a baby back bend. Take your hands to your back and drop it back. Good. Inhale, exhale with a sigh. Ah, that wasn't hard, right? Let's take the block and move it to the other side of our body. And I'm gonna help you, Tracy, by taking your chair over. Again, guys, remember, the props serve you, so you move them to fit your body. Let's bring our feet out into our wide straddle fold. Arms out to shoulder height. You wanna have your feet somewhere between your elbows and your wrists, and bring the feet parallel. Good. Press down into the outside edges of the feet, and let's take an inhale to fill out our shape. Inhale, reach it long, and exhale. Good. Now turn the left foot towards me and the back foot in 45 degrees. You see we're going the other way? Do a little knee bend and make sure that your knee is tracking over the center toes. Good. Once you've found your knee position, stop. Straighten your legs. Look at your left hand. Inhale. Exhale. Lean forward towards me, hinging at the hip crease, and then revolve it, coming up and over. Bring that top hip back. Arm is reaching up, and breathe. Good. Nice. Now you can gaze upwards towards your outstretched hand, or if that hurts your neck, you can look straight ahead or look down at the floor. So make sure your neck is comfortable. Let's take another deep, full body breath. And then let's reverse the shape, lowering the hand to the back thigh, front arm up, look at your palm and back bend, arching it back. Nice. Press all the way from the standing foot of the forward leg out through all 5 fingertips. Soften the face. Take another deep breath. And then return to neutral for extended triangle. Do you have your block nearby? Good. And inhale, exhale, bend the front knee and tip it over, extending the top arm up and over, reaching long. How's that chair support? Is it in the right place? Good. Inhale and exhale. And again, think about rotating your chest and your hip up and out, extending. So there's a little bit of spinal twist in this side extension as well. Soften the jaw, take one more breath. Now, gaze down and find your block. You're gonna take it into your left hand and place it in front of you. Good. Lower your top arm to your hip. And doing a little hop, come in 6 inches with the back foot. Position the block under your hand so it can bear weight. And then begin to lift and lower the back leg. You want to make sure that the knee that's bearing weight is tracking over the toes of that foot. So come on down and out and correct if your knee is at a funky angle, okay? Good. And then when you're ready, you can lift. Good. Falling over is encouraged. Breathe. This is looking really good. Excellent. How's your back? Are you comfortable? Fantastic. Take one more breath. How about for extra credit, you lift your arm up? Ah, good job. One more breath. And touch it down. With grace, come up, back bend, turn your feet out, hands to the low back, and extend. Inhale out a sigh. Let's exhale. Blah. Yeah. Good, good, good. Well done. So the next pose we're going to take is our final standing posture, the tree pose. Go ahead and shift your weight slowly towards your right foot. beginning to unweight the left, and just notice how it feels to shift the weight over to one side. Very slowly on an inhale, begin to lift the left heel up, and then take the knee out to the side. Good. You can begin by resting your heel on the inside ankle of the standing leg. Breathe here. When you're ready, if you wish, you can slide the foot up towards the calf. And if you'd like more of a challenge, you can bring the hands into Namaste over the heart. Or if that feels already comfortable, you could try taking the arms up like the branches of a tree. Good. So the tendency here in this posture is to grip or lock. We call it the yoga toes of death, where you're hanging on for dear life with your toes. Your toes don't have to work that hard. Rather, what you want to do is find core support. So if your hands are touching, press them strongly. And if your hands aren't touching, feel the upward and downward direction of the posture. Pressing up through the crown of the head, lift, and then pressing down strongly through the standing foot. Good. You're holding the pose, but you're not holding the breath. The breath is fluid and moving. And just like wind moving through the branches of the trees causes the tree to sway, so will your breath. So feel free to add some movement into the posture that's natural and doesn't inhibit the breath. Good. Stay present, breathing with your body. And on your next exhale with control, return to neutral. If you're using a chair, move the chair to the other hip, taking it around your body for support. Okay. Let's unweight the right foot and begin to shift our weight over to our left side. On an inhale, lift your right heel off the ground, and then exhale, take the leg out to the side. You can put the heel either above the ankle bone or, as is demonstrating, up on top of the calf. As you inhale, you're going to lengthen up. As you exhale, you're going to press strongly into the floor, pressing the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Good. Feel the slight wobbling or sway that happens naturally in the breath. Extend. Nice. Deep, full body breaths. It's important as you breathe here that you realize that the posture is as much about the external knee rotation as it is about the lift. So you want your knee tracking out and away from the body. Very nice. Take another full body breath. And then with control, gently lower down. Take your hands to Namaste, close your eyes, and take a moment to feel the effects of tree pose. So now we're going to work our way onto the floor. Go ahead and come into a gentle squat, hands to the earth. Lower one knee and then the next. Sit your feet to one side, your buttocks to the other, and swing your legs in front. Very good. Extend your legs long in front of you and flex through the heels, pulling the toes back towards your nose. Good. And we're going to move the belly flesh, taking the hands into where the belly meets the hip creases. Pull it up, lift up, hold, inhale tall, and then exhale, come forward. When you feel the stretch, release the belly flesh and breathe. Now you can let your eyes close here and you can go inside. It's not important that your hands touch your feet. What is important is that you're experiencing the length in the back body and that you're not inhibiting the breath. If your arms are floating in the air, go ahead and lower them down. Go ahead and take another deep breath. And on the exhale, allow yourself to melt even further forward. Let your head hang now, releasing all control of the neck. And notice how the entire backside of the body is stretching. From the base of your heels, up the back of the legs, low back, mid back, upper back, all the way up into the base of your skull. Good. Take another complete breath, and on the exhalation for the final time, allow yourself to melt even more. And melting doesn't have to mean coming more forward. Melting can just mean softening and let go of trying so hard. One more breath. And then slowly on the inhale, begin to rise up, curling up. Take your fingers behind your body to the floor and take a baby back bend. Just lift your chest and lift your heart. Inhale, exhale out with a sigh. Ah, very good, everyone. Bring your hands in front for starfish. One knee and then the next bends, feet flat on the floor. Good. So we're going to start with the gentle version that involves using just the arms. So to begin, you can inhale, sit up tall, and then exhale, sit back halfway with your arms coming out. Inhaling up, exhaling back, and then exhaling back.
So you can do a few of those.
Good. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. So you're timing every breath with movement. Good. And then you can add a leg. This is optional. Exhale one leg back, inhale it in and down. Good. Good. And if you're watching at home and you're more advanced and you want more of a challenge, you can use both arms and legs. Exhaling and inhaling, exhaling and inhaling. One more, and give yourself a hug. Oh, good job. So we're gonna switch and come onto our tummy for Sphinx posture stretch. Once you're on the belly, you're gonna take a moment to move the flesh. So if you have an ample breast, you're gonna wanna separate the breast flesh with your hands so that your sternum comes into contact with the floor, as Michelle demonstrates. And if you have an ample belly, Tracy's showing that you can pull the belly flesh up towards the ribs and let your hips settle down into the floor. You should feel nice contact with the mat. Good. You can turn your cheek to one side as Michelle is showing, or you can have your forehead on the mat as Chris is showing. Take a moment to settle in and breathe. Good. Now very slowly extend your arms long in front of you. We're going to rise up by pulling the elbows in by the sides of the breast into the Sphinx. Your body looks just like the statue of the Sphinx. There's a nice straight line from your shoulder down to your elbow. Your hands are shoulder width apart and the forearms are parallel with the edges of the yoga mat. So go ahead and adjust. If your hands were turned in, you want to turn them out in parallel. Good. If your back is feeling any constriction, you can separate your feet so that they're as wide as the yoga mat, and this can create a feeling of spaciousness in your low back. You want to send breath into the collarbones, extending and lengthening. Your gaze is long on the floor in front of you. Very nice. Breathe. This gentle back bend is wonderful to open up the breath, relax the belly, and improve the fluidity of the discs in the lumbar spine, hydrating them. Take another breath, and then as you exhale, gently lower, turn your cheek to one side, make a pillow for your face, pick up your feet, and windshield wiper them side to side. And then pause, lower them down for upward facing boat pose. So you're going to reach your arms back long behind your body, palms down. Separate your feet a little bit wider. Inhale. On the exhale, press down into the earth with your belly as you lift the arms, shoulders, head, legs, everything lifts. Good. You're reaching back long with the toes, as if there was a light switch on the wall behind you and you wanted to flick it on with your feet. Breathe. All 10 fingers and all 10 toes reaching back strongly, enlivening the posture with breath. Follow your inhale and exhale. If you like, you could even close your eyes here and go inside of the sensation. For the last few breaths, contract your buttocks more strongly to get a little more lift. Squeeze through the glutes. And then on an exhale, release. Turn your cheek to one side, pick up your feet, and windshield wiper gently side to side. This windshield wipering movement helps to release any congestion in the low back that back bend might have brought up. And then pause. Good. So we're going to flip onto our backs for bridge posture. Coming onto your back, you're going to bend your knees and walk your feet in towards your buttocks as close as you can make them. And the shape that you're looking for is a vertical shin bone. So you want a nice straight line from your knee down to your ankle. Good. If your chin is higher than your forehead, can you contract your neck a little and give yourself a little double chin? This will create a pleasant stretching sensation in the back of the neck. Good. Allow your eyes to close and come into the rhythm of your inhale and exhale here. So we're going to start with some very gentle pelvic lifts. On the inhale, you're going to lift your pelvis and tailbone towards the sky, just 2 or 3 inches. And then on the exhale, you're going to descend. And I'd like you to repeat that movement a few times. Inhale, curling the tailbone up, and then exhale, lift. So it's not about coming high up in the air, but rather about coordinating the breath and movement. Good. Try to keep your knees steady. If your knees wobble, press more strongly into the feet during the lift and lower. Nice. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. And the next time you lift, I'd like you to curl a little higher. You can imagine that you have a tail between your legs and you're tucking that tail up and through the legs. Good. Continuing to breathe. The sacrum at the base of the spine is generating the maximum lift. The buttocks are engaged. The face remains relaxed. Good. And now as you hold, allow the sensations to build and unfold. Remember that you can release at any time. If this posture becomes too intense, if you're feeling any cramping in the legs, give yourself permission to come down early. The next time you take an inhale, hold. And notice how it feels to hold full. Observe the sensation, and then when the body calls for release, exhale all the way down with a sigh. You can imagine the buttocks relaxing like butter melting on a skillet on a hot day. Good. We're going to try that lift one more time. And inhaling, lift. And now exhale all the air out. Draw navel into spine. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Stay up and hold empty. And notice how it feels now to hold the lift empty. What kind of support do you feel from the abdominals now that you've taken the belly into spine? Notice any trembling or shaking that is present, and just observe. Notice the story that your mind tells you about the sensations that are unfolding. And rather than becoming attached to the storyline, can you just let it be and breathe? Beautiful. By By now, if you haven't, return to a natural breath and release to the floor. Hug your knees in and rock gently side to side. Good. We're going to come into some reclining spinal twists. So clear any blankets or props that you've accumulated that are by your side, and allow your arms to spread out like the letter T. Knees bent, palms down. Shift your hips very gently to the left, a few inches. And then we're going to drop our knees to the right. Take an inhale and then exhale over. So there are many different leg variations you can do in this twist. The gentle version that most of the students are modeling is to simply keep the knees stacked, one on top of the next, arms out to shoulder height. Tanya in front in the blue shirt is demonstrating a more advanced version of the twist. She's using her top hand to draw the knee down even further and her bottom hand to catch the back foot so that her body is in the shape of a cross almost. Please pick the version that feels right for the body you have today. Find the area in your body that feels the most sensation and send your breath there. Take an inhale, and then on the exhale, gradually release any holding and inhale your knees up one at a time, back to starting neutral position. Take a moment here and pause. Take a rest breath. And now let's prepare for reclining twist on the other side. Go ahead and shift your hips in the other direction, and then on the exhale, gently drop your knees over. Good. Your arms are out at T position, and you're letting your body come into deep, relaxed breath. Good. You can let your hips come all the way. There we go. So it's okay if your shoulder comes off the ground, Tracy. There we go. And Tanya will demonstrate the more intense version of the twist. She's taking her hand to the top knee, drawing it down, and she's caught her back foot, and she's drawing that back knee back behind her body. With your eyes closed, find the area in your back that has the greatest sensation and send a breath there to make some internal space. Good. One more breath, and then release. And on the inhale, return back to neutral. Take a rest breath. So we'll prepare for a final stretch, the figure 4, that stretches the hip flexors and all the muscles that get actually overstretched when we sit for a living in chairs. So go ahead and cross your right ankle over your left thigh. So Tracy and I are going to demonstrate this version with the aid of a strap. Tracy, cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Good. And now everybody can thread their hands behind their left leg, take a hold and pull it in. So if it's not able for you to comfortably reach the back of your thigh with your hands, you can use a yoga strap as a pair of extra long arms. You can see Tracy demonstrating. Tracy, can you change your grip so your wrists are integrated? Good. And then come up and I'll help. Excellent. So you're inhaling, and on the exhale, you're drawing your knee closer to your chest. Inhale, exhale, squeeze. Inhale, exhale, squeeze. You can accomplish the squeeze in two ways. You can squeeze by exaggerating the contraction of your abdomen when you blow out the air, when you exhale. Or you can accomplish the squeeze by pulling with a little more vigor with your arms. So choose the way of squeezing that feels best to you. Go ahead and take another breath and then gently release. Take a rest breath here on the floor. And let's cross the other ankle over the other thigh. Pause, and then thread your arms through the non-bending leg, or use a yoga tie to help you reach. And then you're going to come up into figure 4 on this leg. You can see that I'm bracing Tracy's leg with my stomach. But if you don't have a yoga teacher in your house, you can always practice this prone series next to a wall. And where I would be, you would be sitting close to a wall so that your foot could rest against a solid surface. If your chin is higher than your forehead, can you contract a little? Give yourself a little double chin. That'll gently stretch the muscles in your low back. Go ahead and take one more breath. Squeeze, and then release. Come back to center and pause, feet flat on the floor. Take your hands to your abdomen and feel the rise and fall of the breath underneath your fingertips. Allow your eyes to close if they're open, and feel the effects of our posture flow. In our time together, you've moved your spine in 6 directions. You've worked all the major muscles of your body. You've developed greater strength and flexibility. And now it's time for the most important yoga posture of all, which is deep relaxation. Teaching the body how to rest actively rather than passively is a skill that will go with you off the mat and into your lives. Very gently now prepare by either supporting the head with a blanket or the knees, or if you like, you can simply rest with your knees bent. So ladies, let's take a moment to gather the props we need and then place them under our body and support ourselves. If you're watching at home and you find that you have, for example, low back discomfort, it can be really nice to put a folded blanket underneath your knees to provide a little bit of support for your back. If you're watching at home and you have a sore neck or you suffer from sleep apnea, be sure to put a folded blanket or a pillow under the back of the head to elevate the head. This helps to open the airways. Take the time to make yourself exquisitely comfortable. Once you have come into your resting position, go ahead and roll the palms up so that you're spreading and broadening through the collarbones. Now that you've found a nice supported position for the body to let go in, release control of the breath and allow it to return to a free and natural rhythm. You can imagine as you're lying on the ground that your body is supported in warm sand. The sand that's supporting you rises up and fills in all the contours of the body. You can feel the impression that your pelvis makes weighted down in the sand, making a little hole. And then the sand rises up to meet the backs of the legs and knees, the backs of the calves, heels and ankles. You can feel the warmth of the sand under the low back, mid back, shoulder blades, and backs of the arms. Feel the bowling ball weight of the head nestled in the sand. Imagine the shape that your body makes resting here in the sand. And see yourself as if from a great height, fully supported and at ease. For the next few minutes, there is nothing to do but to breathe and just be. When it's time to release, I'll invite you to come up into meditation. But until that time, simply let yourself relax. Very gradually begin to deepen your breath. Make micro movements with your fingers and your toes, drawing life back into the body. And then slowly draw one leg in. Give it a hug. And then the next leg. And rock a little side to side if that feels good on your back. Become aware of where you're lying in the room. In a moment, we'll be rolling onto our right sides. When you're ready, gently roll. And pause here on the right, in the fetal position, taking some deep breaths. If there's a body part in need of healing today and you can reach it, you can place a hand there and send yourself some healing breath. Very slowly allow your eyes to open with a soft focus, and using your hands for support, gently come up to seated. Let your head be heavy, let your head come up slowly. Good. And we'll prepare for meditation. Let's select a comfortable seat for meditation. You can sit in a chair to support your hips and back if that makes you more comfortable. Or you can sit on the floor, either with your pelvis supported with a cushion or kneeling, as Tanya is demonstrating. Or you can sit with your legs wide apart, as Tracy is demonstrating. The important point is to make yourself comfortable so that you can sit motionless for the next several minutes. Take a nice deep breath and allow your spine to be long and tall as you relax. Close your eyes and focus on the rhythm of your breath. Inhaling to yourself silently the words let and exhaling go. Repeating to yourself, inhaling let and exhaling go, over and over again with the rhythm of your breath. As thoughts intrude, as they will, bring yourself back to inhaling let and exhaling go.